Oh, okay.
Little mood music.
We are live. And happy Wine Wednesday, everybody. All right. Hi, Vanessa. How are you?
Hi, Maxwell. I'm great. Happy to be here.
Yes. Oh, you know what? Now I can't hear you because I did. Hold on one second.
Okay.
The amazing difficulties of live Zoom.
Doing it live.
Now I got you. All right. We're all good.
All right. If nothing else, we could have just sat here and just enjoyed a glass of wine in silence.
Yeah.
Well, I could have just tried to read your expressions about if you're enjoying the wine, if you're not enjoying the wine, are you puckering because there's lots of acidity, you know?
Yeah. Oh, geez. Well, hi, everyone at home. How is our sound? Just before we get into everything, you know, I should just ask how does it sound okay to everybody at home, since I was having issues myself. We good? So if this is your first time here, welcome. And I'm joined, of course, by Vanessa Conlin. Say hi to everybody.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
So this week, we are going to be trying these two from Wine Access, Penfolds from Australia, and Diego Quintero from Italy. So yeah, we're going to try these two tonight. And also I want to tell you guys that I'm going to paste this little link here for you in the chat. And this link that I'm about to paste gets you $30 off your first $100 purchase at Wine Access. So that's a pretty sweet deal.
Pretty good. I'm not great at math. I'm a wine person, but that sounds like a good deal.
That's a pretty good deal. So that is the link, guys. And you can also find it on my Instagram, and I'll post it more so you guys can check it out. But today, this is what we're doing. So what you gotta lead the way.
I would be happy to. So I actually have a little sort of show and tell planned.
This is great.
I know, that's how much of a dork I am. I've actually brought rocks to like wine presentations before. Probably maybe next week I'll show up with some rocks.
Yeah.
Legit, I will. Okay, perfect. So I thought it would be fun. So I'm going to start with the Diego Quintero first. So I'll tell you a little bit about this wine, but what I wanted to show was last week we started talking a little bit about decanting. And it kind of came up as a question from someone who wrote in, and I didn't have a decanter. So I was kind of trying to pretend like I had one. So yeah, I actually have a decanter.
There it is.
I actually have two decanters because I'm going to show how to decant a young wine, and then I'm going to show how to decant an older wine. Now, I don't know that either of these wines necessarily need this. It's more show and tell, but since we had two reds, I thought it was a good opportunity to kind of walk everyone through what I would do.
Cool.
Okay.
That's fun.
So first to start, so this is from Piedmont, and so this is a region in northern Italy, and the grape itself is called Barbera, and it's 100% Barbera. And if you read the label, it says Barbera d'Alba, like D apostrophe Alba. Perfect. Thanks for showing that. And so that literally means Barbera from Alba. So Alba is a village. And a growing region within Piedmont. And so you might also see something that says Barbera d'Asti, which is another growing region, another village within Piedmont. So it would be the same. That.
Okay.
Yes, same grape variety, just grown in different places within that same region of Piedmont.
So great region.
Yes,
great.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. And you might know a wine better or two wines better from the region of Piedmont because it's very famous for another grape variety called Nebbiolo. And so there they make Barolo and Barbaresco. Now, those two, the Nebbiolo, and both of those wines, Barolo and Barbaresco, are made from the same variety. They're made from Nebbiolo. Okay. And they're both, they both need a little time, to develop, to age and bottle, because Nebbiolo is a super, super tannic variety. And so the reason why I'm mentioning Nebbiolo, even though we're not tasting it or talking about Barolo or Barbaresco from Piedmont, is because Barbera is kind of the wine that they make that's meant to be drunk younger and fresher. While the other wines from the region, you kind of need to lay them down for a little while, give them some time to kind of soften up.
Okay.
So Barbera is a variety that's known for like pretty bright acidity for a red wine. So super food friendly. This is like the epitome of a pizza wine. Cool. It's perfect with tomato sauce because tomatoes are also very high in acidity. So not just because it's from Italy.
Well, it's cool because I'm having pasta right after this. So. And
we didn't even plan that. It's perfect. Okay, so that's a little bit about this, where it's from and what it is. And then what I'm going to show you is when we use a decanter, which is this, and they can come in all different shapes. You can see really fancy ones that are like long and ones that look like swans and just crazy looking shape ones that are like, in the shape of an O. So this is just a basic decanter.
Cool. It was Kira. Thank you. Kira was the one who asked about the decanter last week. So awesome.
I heard you. So, so there's two reasons to decant. One would be for a young wine, because sometimes young wines, we talked a little bit about this last week. I think I used the analogy of sometimes they're kind of like a teenager where they're kind of angsty and like, they're like, don't talk to me. Like, I'm not, I'm going to stay in my room and listen to really loud music. They kind of are like all wound up, and they need to just like mellow a little bit. So in that case, I'm going to kind of roughly decant this. So I'm just going to let it splish splash.
That is rough. Look at that. You're just
yeah. I'm just trying to get as much air in here as fast as I can.
I love this.
And you can, I think you have an aerator at home, so you can also do something like that on a young wine. And then I might even just actually like swirl it around a little bit. Like, let's really get some air in here. I'm trying to open it up. This is the same thing you can do in your glass also.
Right, so it applies to the decanter as well. I've seen this happen in like a really good restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do that.
Exactly. And again, I'm not going to be too gentle because this is a young wine. I'm just trying to
look at that.
Here. And now I'm just going to do it some more. So now I'm just going to keep.
Okay. So you're doing that. Cool. I'm going to do this thing. I've got a Coravin here, guys.
Fancy. Nice.
You want to explain this one too?
Sure.
You'd explain it a lot better.
So it's a device that, believe it or not, you can actually pour wine from a bottle without taking the cork out. So if you see what Max is doing, that's actually a needle. This was invented by a doctor whose wife stopped drinking during pregnancy. And he really loved drinking wine, but he didn't want to drink a whole bottle every night. So he invented this thing called the Coravin, where it puts a needle through the cork. And the thing about corks is they're kind of pliable and porous. And so the needle will close, the cork will close back up around after he takes that out. So it's basically still an airtight bottle. You can see he went right through all the way through the cork. And then he's going to just push that. It's like magic. It's so fun.
Insane.
So push that little button and then it's going to dispense, a little bit or a lot if Max has had a bad day.
It's been a bit of a day, honestly.
Me too. It's so gloomy here today. I kind of feel the same. It's been like beautiful and all of a sudden it's like rainy and great. Anyway, so now what's going to happen is it dispenses this little sort of canister thing that you can see on the one side has a gas called argon. And what argon does is it sort of sits on top of the wine and it keeps out oxygen. So we're replacing the oxygen in the bottle that you can see the headspace now there with argon. And so it's going to actually preserve the wine. So, according to Coravin, it's just like you had never opened that bottle. It's going to be just as fresh. So it's a way to, like, if you want to taste a number of different wines on one day and you don't want to open them all up.
Yes.
I'll tell you, I used the Coravin so much when I was studying for the Master of Wine exam. Because I had to taste so many wines. Oh my gosh. If I had opened everything, I mean, I would have had to like sell my car or something. I mean, it's a lot of it's a lot of wine. So I used the Coravin every day when I was studying.
Right. That's why I thought it would be good to have, since I'm opening 2 reds at the same time here, I'm just like, yeah. And you can see, guys, look, that's how much I took out of the bottle. The cork is
still in there. Yep.
Look at that.
Crazy, right? Yeah. It's pretty amazing technology.
Yeah.
So, well, now we both have a glass. So
we got our glass. Cheers.
Cheers. Great to see you. And excited to try this wine.
Yeah, me too.
So you can see Barbera, it's kind of got this bright, like ruby, almost like purple tinge to it, right? Like super, like intensely, vibrantly pigmented.
That's purple. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of wines that we've tasted are more like ruby in color, red wines, but this is really kind of more intensely purple. Yeah. Wow. So I get a lot of aromas on this right out of the gate. I don't know about you, but it's like super floral, right? I get like a ton of like violets and roses and kind of fresh and dried herbs.
Because I'm not getting any fruits when I smell this one.
It's really, really floral. Yeah. I do get some cherry on it, but it's almost like a little bit, I don't mean this in a bad way, but like a little bit of a tart cherry, I mean,
now that you say it. See, this is where I need this is it, because it's like, yeah, I smell something that I can't quite put my finger on.
It's like a black cherry, like fresh, like stem still on it, and just barely ripe. So it's still a little zingy, but still has that nice fruitiness.
Okay. Yeah, because it's so interesting, because like now I know, I think I'm good enough to know now when I smell a real fruit forward one, like a Zen or something like that. And I don't think I'm educated enough on this kind yet.
That's why we're doing this.
Yeah.
This is why we're here.
Okay.
So this is what I would look for in this wine. You kind of want that beautiful perfume notes. Like we said, lots of cherry, lots of floral, and kind of some herbs.
Now it smells like, yeah, wow.
Okay. And a little bit of almost like, okay, bear with me, tar.
Tar?
Yeah. Like, have you ever, like, after, like, they've freshly, like, done the, yeah. Anyway.
You know what? Like.
You don't have to agree with me.
But like now, when you say it, it's like, oh. And Didi just said here, that's why Vanessa is an expert, Didi, a master. You got to get the title right, Didi.
I'll take it, Didi. Thank you for the compliment either way. So, all right, I'm going to, I've been talking this whole time. I haven't even tasted it.
Let's go.
Yeah, go.
Oh, I needed that.
My mouth is really watering, right? Like it's almost, it almost has an acidity that I would think of more like in a white wine. That's why
unbelievable.
This wine is so good with food. It's so easy to pair because, some heavier red wines, you have to be really tricky. Like, oh, what am I going to pair it with? It's not going to overpower, but this is like, it's so fresh.
Okay. So, man, that just took me back. That took me back to Italy. It did. That took me back to
yeah. So,
and my mom is here. So that's the last time I was there. My parents are here. Oh, my parents would love this one.
Well, luckily you have a bottle and you have some pasta to eat. So I think you're all set.
I do.
But I'd say also the tannins on this, when we talked about tannins before, there's that like tactile sensation that can dry. This was on the lower side for me. Like it's a red wine, there are tannins present, but it's definitely more like a chewier acidity than a like structured tannin type of wine.
Okay, so now I'm really smelling the fruits. When I first went in the glass, I wasn't smelling it, but now I'm getting like a. Now I kind of have like a cranberry or something like that.
Yeah, I think especially on the palate. Yeah, I definitely get that kind of like, and again, I don't mean this in a bad way, not in a like unripe way, but that kind of like that tartar, like just barely ripe cherry, cranberry. It's not like a super ripe berry. It's like maybe I just picked it and it's just on the verge.
So I was right with that then, a tartar kind of like cranberry, because
Yes.
that's what I was tasting, cranberry.
Oh, 100%. That's a great descriptor. Absolutely.
So, Tiffany, hey Tiffany. Tiffany said Barbera is her favorite. And Tiffany's actually having a Barbera. What Barbera are you having, Tiffany? Because that's amazing. We're drinking our Barberas together. That's really nice.
Awesome.
Right?
Yes, I love it. I love it. So do you like, I like this wine a lot. I think
I absolutely love it. Yeah, this is, I don't even know. I don't know how, this is a.
Now I have to make some Italian food. Yes.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
This is a $25 wine. I mean, this, I feel like could be way more.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's got, it's a lighter bodied wine, but it's got so much sort of power within a more delicate frame.
I could not have said it quite like that, so I'm glad you did.
Thank you. So I was going to also show, if you don't mind indulging me, I was going to show how to decant an older bottle.
Cool.
Is that okay? All right. So just move this. Okay. So the second one that we're tasting, and I'm pretending a little bit because this is not actually a mature bottle. This is a 2017, which is, you know, pretty youthful. So, but I'm going to pretend, let's all pretend. That that this is an older bottle.
Okay.
That maybe I've had in my cellar for many, many years.
Okay.
So what I would have done is I have this nice wine rack over my shoulder here. So, you know, age wines on their side so that the wine is in contact with the cork, because you don't want the cork to dry out. But on an older bottle, as it's lying on its side, the sediment is going to sort of fall to the belly of the bottle. So what I would do is, you know, let's say if I can plan ahead, you know, stand the bottle up for at least a couple hours, you know, more if you can, so that all the sediment, and the sediment is the tannins precipitating out of the wine as it ages. Because we talked about this, like red wines actually get lighter in color as they age. So they'll turn more sort of garnet, amber. And as they do that, you know, so they can start to precipitate these tannins down to the bottom. And the tannins, I mean, the sediment, it's not bad for you. You know, there's nothing wrong with drinking it. It just kind of adds a little gritty note to it, to the wine, which, you know, you might not want. So basically what I would do is stand it up. So ideally all the sediment is going to be here in the bottom. Now I'm going to show you the super old fashioned way. I told you I came with show and tell, right? Like I was not kidding, Max. Okay, so here's the old fashioned way. I have a candle. Can you see?
I see the candle. Yes.
Okay. So and the reason for that is you want to pay attention to when you start to see the sediment forming in the neck of the bottle as I pour it. So I'm actually going to hold the shoulder right here of the bottle over the candle. And this one I'm going to be much more delicate with, because just to go back to my analogy, the teenager might be kind of wound up, but this older bottle here is like pretty relaxed and mellow. Yeah. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on the shoulder of that bottle. And when I start to see some sediment gathering there, so you can see if I stop right here, there's a little bit of wine still sort of in the shoulder of this bottle. So now I'm just gonna stop pouring. So basically, you'll be left with a little bit of wine at the bottom that you're just not gonna drink, and all the sediment is gonna be in there.
Right.
So now I've just decanted an older bottle that would have had the sediment all mixed around in here, but instead it's left it in the bottle and my decanter is clean.
Don't you not rough with that.
Not rough with that one. I'm gonna blow this out before I.
Zara, you know, so Zara here, she said, yes, the candle method. You know this, Zara. Oh, because Zara, did you just take a class online? That's right. We're all learning during this time, so that's one of the neat things.
It's a great time for learning. Yeah, I love it.
That I think we're all learning something. So okay, that was really cool.
Cool. So
see, Zara just learned that the other day. That's really neat. Okay.
I love it. So that's my show and tell.
Yeah, but I got to do mine now. So
you have to do yours.
Right. I'm going to do this again. And you can talk about the wine, because someone did just ask about the next wine.
Okay, so this is a 2017. So Penfolds is the producer, and this is from Australia, and this is a blend. So it's 81% Shiraz and 19% Mataro. And what I thought would be kind of interesting to talk about with this wine is both of those grapes have different names in different countries, but it's the same grape. So Shiraz is what the Aussies call Syrah. So it's it's the same variety. Yeah, Syrah or Shiraz. And then Mataro is the same grape as what the French call Mourvedre, which generally is in the south of France. So two varieties that have different names in different countries, but are the same.
Why do they have to do that to us?
Because just to keep us on our toes, because wine is all about learning and memorizing random facts.
Which you know every little bit of. Pretty cool.
So I thought this would just be a delicious wine to taste. It's ooh, that smells good.
Oh my gosh.
So different than the previous, right? Where the previous I was like, it's kind of tart, you know, underripe. This is like ripe, you know.
I'm getting the complete opposite.
Yes.
Like, holy moly, like plum and blueberries.
Yes.
And,
blueberries, blackberries, like boysenberry a little bit, but ripe, you know. Whereas like the previous wine, it's like we walked around the farmer's market like the first week it opened and they were just bringing stuff that they're like, yeah. And now it's like the last week of the season and like everything's been growing and everything's super ripe.
I mean, whoa, yes, that is, yeah. So this is like the kind of, I think the kind of wine that I've been able to identify better since we started this whole deal.
Oh, good. Okay. So I think a lot of people come to wine through more this type. You know, the others, like I think sometimes acidity, I love wines with really, really fresh, bright acidity, but some people, for some people to have that in a beverage, it's sort of new unless you're drinking lemonade or something. Because if you grow up on like, you know, soda or whatever, it's not really like highly, you know, your mouth isn't watering. It's sort of, you know, uniform, but like wine has this effect on your palate that's kind of new to people. So I think sometimes these wines from sort of warmer regions, which have like riper fruit profiles, are just sort of easier to understand, especially at first. But the world of wine is so diverse.
Okay, yeah, I got it. We got like, and the color difference too. Like,
oh yeah,
yep. I don't know if you guys can see this at home, but.
So do you use your Coravin very often?
Not often, because I usually drink the, you know.
Me too. And now that I'm finished studying, I don't pull it out all that much in my house. But okay, so this is like very different on the palate too, right? Where the previous wine, again, higher acidity, that one had a lighter body. This is much more full bodied, right?
Very.
Yes. And I think like when we talked about on a previous session, thinking about body, you know, it's the weight of the wine on your palate. You can sort of think of like light bodied wine feels like skim milk, you know, medium bodied wine feels like 2%, you know, full bodied wine feels like whole milk. This is like almost like whole milk.
This is real whole milk.
It's very full, like rich.
Salivating. I'm salivating because it's just, that.
Yeah. And it has like a real kind of smokiness to it. This was matured in oak. So, you know, sometimes it can come from oak, but sometimes some varieties like Syrah, which this is, right, just called Shiraz because it's from Australia, can have an almost like smoky note. Sometimes it's almost like an incense. But this to me is just sort of this like almost like campfire in the best way, but do you know what I mean? Like the sort of charred embers you get at the end of the evening.
Man, this is, I love it. But and it's not like, not to say, I you know, these are so different. It's like,
yeah, that's what I love about wine. There's something really for everybody, you know. It's so diverse depending on what you like, what you're in the mood for that day. What are you going to pair with it? Are you not pairing anything with it?
Yeah,
you know, those are all choices.
Wow.
So I had a little, I think we had a question last week about wine laws.
We did have a question about wine laws last week. Let me see what's going on here in the chat here.
Which I can give a little, we were sort of running out of time, so I can give a little brief summary as to like why those exist and what they are, if you'd like.
Let's do it.
But if there are other questions, we could do those first.
Oh, hey, Jenny, what's up? Sediment equals hard chunks in wine? Well,
not really. They're like softer, sandier types of things.
Yeah. Sometimes they do end up in your glass.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not a flaw. That's naturally happens with wine as it matures.
Okay. Okay, let's do the wine laws, because miniature Missy. Oh yeah, miniature Missy. I know you wanted to know about this.
Okay. So I'm not gonna, you know, go down a huge rabbit hole here, just a tiny, like one ankle deep in this rabbit hole. Okay, so there are laws that govern wine. And it varies by country, but I think the actual question was just basically like, why do you need these laws, right? And so they were really created by regional bodies, you know, so a growing region, to protect the integrity and the quality and the reputation of wines from that region. So for instance, you know, I think Champagne is a really good example because, you know, Champagne can only actually be made in the region of Champagne.
Yes.
You can say a sparkling wine made in the same method is made in the Champagne method or the traditional method, but you can't call it Champagne. And that's really because, so it protects that region so that somebody, let's say that's, you know, not from that region, doesn't make something that's nothing actually like what they make there and call it Champagne. So it's really, in a way, it's to protect the wine growers, but it's also to help the consumer. Because if I'm a consumer and I'm like, well, I thought I was buying Champagne, but like, this is nothing like what I expected, then I'm probably, you know, not a happy consumer, right? So it's really, it's to help both sides. But there's different laws. We're definitely not going to go down this rabbit hole, but it's different by every single country. And in some cases, like different states, even, but it can govern things like the area of production. So what is the actual region? And if you're sort of outside of this region, you can't call it, you know, like this wine from Piedmont, like Piedmont is a region. I can't, you know, you can only make wines from, like, let's say from Barolo in Piedmont, from that region. So it can be the actual area. It could be the permitted grape varieties grown in that region. If you're going to call it, like, you can do something crazy. Let's say like you could make Cabernet. Well, it was a terrible example because Cabernet would not ripen in Champagne. It's too cold. But let's say like you can make, you know, you can throw a grape variety that's not permitted in a bottle and sell it, but you just can't call it that thing. Do you know what that's permitted? So it can govern the grape variety, and sometimes the practices in the vineyard. So for instance, water usage. So like, irrigation is something that in some areas of the world, it's very difficult to grow grapes without irrigation, but in some other regions, it's forbidden. You're actually not allowed to irrigate unless you get like special dispensation from the governing body. So
this is like,
yeah, I know. Who knew, right?
yeah.
And in some cases, also minimum aging requirements, where they might say like you cannot release this wine. Like Rioja is a great example. Like there are laws there that say like depending on the type of wine from that region, you literally can't call this a Rioja Crianza, let's say, unless it's aged a certain amount of time in oak.
Okay. So.
And before release.
Okay, so like looking at this,
Mm-hmm.
and I see that it has this DOC.
Yes.
So is that part of the wine laws that
it is? So that says that certifies that it's from a denominazione d'origine controllata. Don't make me say that 3 times fast. Which is Barbera. So that region. So that is sort of your certification that wine is Barbera d'Alba from the region. It's Barbera. It's what you would expect. It's not going to be something crazy else.
That's just how Italy does it. They put this little thing on here. That's
right. It doesn't. Great point, Max. Because not every region does that. But Italy applies those little necklaces on the.
Oh yeah. Wait, can you say it again? The DOC.
Denominazione d'origine controllata.
Denominazione
Origine controllata. I'm not Italian. You probably have some like people at home that are cringing right now. But that
was good.
Thank you.
That was really good. I'll ask my mom. Mom, Vanessa's pronunciation, pretty good, right?
Was she like?
I'm sure she's typing probably right now, but I'm sure I think you passed. That was
okay. Thank you. I mean, I need mom's approval. Let's be real. It's very important. Stamp of approval. So I had a one other thing I wanted to throw in, which is if people want to sort of relate this to the United States, something in the United States that we have, and we are way less governed by wine laws here than in a lot of other countries like Spain, Italy, France. But there still are things that we have to adhere to. For instance, if there is the variety listed on the label. So for instance, if it says Cabernet Sauvignon, it has to be at least 75% Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay.
The rest of it could be some Merlot. You could throw some Cabernet Franc in there. But let's say if it was 70% Cabernet Sauvignon plus Merlot and Cabernet Franc, you would have to call it a red blend. Okay. You can't call it Cabernet Sauvignon. So that's just something that we do here.
So threshold here, 75%.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have also delimited production regions that we've identified as being, protected in this almost in the same ways as what we were talking about in Europe. For instance, like here in Napa Valley, we have things we call them AVAs for short, but it's American Viticultural Area.
Okay.
An example of those would be something like Oakville, Rutherford, Yountville, Howell Mountain. These are all places in Napa that you can't call it Oakville if it's not grown in Oakville. If it's not 85%. Again, there's a little wiggle room there. Like you might have a little fruit from outside, but it has to be at least 85%. Okay.
You're just making me want to go.
I know. It's so rainy here though today. It's like really, it was so warm, and now all of a sudden it'll get nice again.
Yes. Now you saying all these names of the little drive
you
through.
Just picturing like driving up the valley on Highway 29, and you got the Vaca Mountain Range on one side and the Mayacamas. Yeah, I know.
When I tell you guys, like, Disneyland is my happy place, but like my other happy place is there.
Yes, it's like Disneyland for adults.
It is. That's what I always say. I always say that to people. I'm like, I got my Disneyland and I got my Disneyland for adults. So that's, but it is. It's just, yeah. I cannot wait till I can get back up there.
So I have a trivia question.
Oh,
It's not about Disney though. Okay.
okay.
So, okay, this is my type of trivia, right? So, we talked about AVAs, like Oakville, Yountville, Rutherford. So, do you know what the first AVA in the United States was?
Ooh. You guys can play along at home too if you want to guess the first AVA.
American Viticultural Area.
American Viticultural Area in the United States. Okay, is it in California?
It is not in California.
Not. Okay. Oh boy. See, now it's like.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a tough question.
Is it in New York?
It's not, but you're kind of getting warmer-ish.
Okay, so we're going East Coast?
Well, it's not actually East Coast or West Coast. Do you want me to just tell you?
We've got guesses here. We've got Tennessee, Florida, Washington, Idaho. Where?
So it was in 1980 and it was in Missouri.
Missouri?
Yes. It's a place called Augusta, Missouri.
What?
First American AVA. I know, right? You would think it would be like somewhere in Napa Valley or Oregon or, Washington State even, or like that was a good guess, New York, actually, because it could have been like, somewhere in the Finger Lakes or whatever, but no, it's actually Missouri.
They're making wine in Missouri?
Like every state is making wine now. Yeah.
Have you had it from there?
I have not had Missouri wine. I've had wine from Michigan. It was actually pretty good. I've had Pinot Blanc and Riesling from Michigan. That was quite nice.
Okay.
Yeah. So live and learn, right? Yeah. You know what Missouri is also relevant for in the wine industry? You didn't know I was going to ask you so many questions.
What?
So Missouri actually grows a lot of oak that's used for oak barrels.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that makes more sense to me than them being the first AVA. That is.
I know. Who knows how that decision was made? But anyway, just thought that was a fun fact.
I love that fact. That was like, if you guys were here for trivia last night, that would be like a level 4, round 4 question, right?
Yeah.
That's tough. Yeah.
Like even I was trying to remember right before this. I was like, I know it was I think it was somewhere like I remember it wasn't what I would expect, and I actually had to go back and refresh my memory. So that's definitely a tough one. It's a tough question.
Well, if I ever find myself in Missouri, where exactly? Wait,
Augusta.
Ever find myself in Augusta, Missouri?
ABA. Yeah.
Missouri. Is anyone from Missouri watching this tonight? I don't know, but wow.
Anyway, that's
Thank you for that little tidbit.
There you go.
Anyone have any questions for Vanessa before she heads off?
And if it's that hard of a question, I'm not answering.
Yeah. They have wine here.
Unless I can use Google.
Look at this. They have wine here in North Dakota. Let's just say nothing compares to California. Yeah.
California, well, Napa, I'm just speaking of like Napa Valley in particular, we have a Mediterranean climate, which is it's the only place in the United States that has that. So it's a really special region for growing grape varieties.
Right. The Mediterranean climate.
Particularly Bordeaux varieties. But you can go closer to the coast, like in Sonoma, cooler, foggier, perfect for like Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. But this kind of pocket, we call it like the North Coast, is just known for really high quality, winemaking, wine growing in the United States. Right.
Sydney's from Missouri. Oh, hey, Sydney, what's up?
Hey.
Now you got to go to Augusta, Sydney. Okay. We need to, I know we do. We need to plan a wine tasting trip when this is all over, Melissa. I know. Believe me.
Yeah, I would love company.
Right?
Yeah.
I know, it's weird.
Yeah, I started naming the birds in my backyard.
Did you? What are their names?
Well, I have a finch. I have this bright red, beautiful finch, and so he's got this beautiful like red vest, and so I called him Cayenne.
You know, here in LA, we don't normally like have that many birds that are just like showing up, but
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
the birds have
Actually,
taken over. They are just like everywhere.
no.
I see them like right outside
Yep.
my balcony now, and they're just like, "Hey, what's up?" And they're
Yeah.
just yeah.
No,
They're
same here. We have a lot of birds here, but it's like there's way more now. I mean, I love it's very relaxing to me. I love listening to them. So.
yeah, no, I know. What? Okay. Are there any wines without tannins? Tannins cause migraines for me. Okay, what about that? That was a question here.
So white wines don't have tannins. So tannins come from the skins of red grapes. You can get a small amount of tannin also from seeds and stems if those are included, but normally, you know, they're not usually oftentimes a red grape is destemmed. So you're not using the stems, but you can. We should do like another chat maybe next week a little bit on winemaking techniques or something like that, because I can talk about stem inclusion, but
Okay.
let's not go down there.
Yeah,
so you know, white wines, you know, rosés have a little bit of that pink color because they have a little bit of skin contact, but it's in most cases maybe a couple of hours. So you're probably pretty safe with them. But you know, tannins, I would wonder, you know, sometimes there are histamines in wines that can sometimes cause headaches for people who are very sensitive to that. So it could also be that. You know, also remember to drink water.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for the reminder. Here,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna drink some wine while you drink your water, but.
You know.
But in all seriousness, very important to stay hydrated. Drink as much water as you drink wine.
Exactly. You are so right, Melissa, by the way, here. We are all getting a master class of wine here. It's so true. So thank you.
Oh my gosh, I love it. This is so fun. It's like my favorite part of the week. Truly. So speaking of, you know, I know you probably want to stay on and chat with all your peeps there, but so I'll sign off soon, but we should choose wines. We'll have to, you know, we'll text each other later, whatever. We'll choose for next week what we want to taste.
Yes.
Okay.
We got a couple left in my last shipment. So
only a couple. We gotta get you more wine.
We need more wine. Guys,
more wine.
More wine. And you guys should get more wine too, obviously. And I will paste the code again so you guys can go check it out. But awesome. Thank you so much, Vanessa.
My pleasure, as always. And I love that. I love the questions. It's great to engage with everyone. And you know, I love talking about wine. It's kind of my thing. So fun for me.
I've learned more, like, you know, in the last month than I have, you know, in years of drinking this stuff. So it's just
thank you. And that's just hanging out and chatting. So
yeah,
even better.
And I think everyone else has too. It's awesome. So neat.
Great to hear
it. People are saying thank you. Look at this. People are planning. This is wild. I've got Melissa and Shauna here talking in the chat, planning an afternoon at Boger. Wow, that's amazing. You guys are planning they're gonna go meet up maybe at a winery one day when this is all over. I love this. Lots of thank you.
Am I invited?
Yeah. Is Vanessa invited? Am I invited too? We could all hang. That'd be amazing.
Right. More importantly.
Thank you. Lots of thank yous to you. Tiffany, Tiffany was our Barbera fan. She's gonna be on Wine Access tonight, making it.
Yay! Thank you.
Amazing. Oh, and you're invited. Melissa said you're invited.
Thank you. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Max. It's great to see you. Enjoy the wines and your pasta. And I can't wait to see you next week.
Sounds good.
All right. I'm going to leave now. Bye. See you later, guys. Bye.
Awesome. How cool was that? Right? So were we all like that? I mean, you know, one day when we all can actually go to a winery, right? The Cheesy Pop Vineyards, right? How amazing was that? Okay, so what was the like biggest thing you learned tonight? Think about that. I got this. You know, what do I do with this? Oh, yeah, which one was better? It's a very tricky, it's a really tricky question, honestly. Melissa, you're so welcome. Thank you. It's, you know, it's very tricky to determine which one is actually the better one because they are so different. Like, well, for dinner, probably this one because it's from Italy and I'm having the pasta, you know, with the sauce. Yeah. But they're both amazing. So this thing? How much is this one? Let me give you the exact. They make all different models of the Coravin, so I could tell you the exact price. Coravin Model 2, that's what this one is $209. So, yeah. 209. But honestly, like, insanely cool. Like, you know, here's my two wines my two bottles that we opened. And it's like perfectly, they're just like intact. Isn't that insane? And it's all because of this, you know, this needle. And it actually is a needle. So, you know, I can't, it would hurt. It's like this tiny. Really neat though, right? Like really neat. Upside down? Yeah, sure. I can do that. So just in case, I'll just put that there. But yeah, I mean, like, is that not insane? So cool, so cool. Yeah, Melissa, please do message me that's awesome. Samantha, you gonna order anniversary wine? Yes, do it. Oh, here's that. Let me show you this again. Okay. So I just typed that in there. So that is your link to get the $30 off 100, which is insane. Insane. I'm gonna, oh, that was so good. Thank you, Super Lemons. A Napa meetup, yeah, that'd be something. Okay. Let me take this out. I can hang for you know, a few more minutes here, guys. So why don't we do what we've been doing for the last few Wine Wednesdays, and we'll head out to the balcony. Does that sound good? Cool. We'll chat a little bit more. All right, let's do it. Let me grab my little flip-flops here so I can, you know, I don't want to. All right. Okay. Oh man, that is too bright. hold on. Oh my goodness. It's like really bright. All right, there we go. One moment. One moment. Close that. There we go. All right. Hi, guys. What's up? So, you know, it's so interesting. We've been doing this for so long now. The sun has shifted, right? The sun has now, like, we just, it's all good. It's okay, though. It's wonderful. Okay. Thank you, Tessa. Finals? Oh, man. Well, congrats. Accounting and finance. Congrats to you. That's amazing. Thank you so much. And you can always replay this video back, you know? Always. So here we are. Got this going. This is pretty sweet. Do we love this or what? Are we gonna, oh, should we do our usual little cheers that we like to do? How about that? Can we do that? Can we do our little cheers that we always love to do? When we take the picture? Are you guys ready? Okay, ready? Hold your glass up. We'll do our cheers. Cheers, guys. Okay. So good. Mr. Swirly Pop, you know it. So, your daughter asked if we could have wine with Mr. Cheese Pop when she gets bigger. Yes. Let's make that happen, Tiffany. Let's do it. Oh, wow. You know what? Make it blue. Disney Adventure Caitlin there. You know what? You're ordering Lou Malnati's pizza? I actually had that the other day. I really did. It was so good. So good. Kira, if I was to open a vineyard, what kind of wine would I make and what would my wine company be called? Great question. I think we would do, and thank you, Kira, by the way, for the super chat. So, you know, I actually have thought about this. We, you know, it's Cheesy Pop Wines, Cheesy Pop Vineyards, Cheesy Pop Winery, something along those lines, obviously. And the kind of wine I would want is probably I would want to make something like more along the lines of this one I have right here, which is the Penfolds one. So a little more fruit forward, where the fruit is just like bursting out of the glass, but it's really dry still. I mean, I love Cabernet Sauvignon, but I also love how the fruit just bursts out of the glass here on something like this. So it could be a red blend that is like maybe like a Zin, something like that. But yeah, so I think that would be what I would like to do. Yeah. I'm just scrolling back up here to see if I miss anything here. So Dee Dee, I know that I'm bringing the numbers from Tuesday, but it's, yeah, you know what? And that's okay. I love doing this on Wednesday, and I know it's not the tons of people that show up for the Disney quiz um, on Tuesday, but like, I love doing this. I really look forward to this. It's just like my chill night with you guys. It's so much fun. And not only do I get to just chill, but I get to learn things from Vanessa. It's just really neat, right? So neat. Um, hey, thanks, Super Lemons. Uh, oh yeah, my mom. I have to name a wine after my mom, right? Because the other thing, see, miniature Missy here with the good, you know, uh, point here. The other thing I've always thought about is I need a wine that's a sparkling wine because of my name, Mr. Cheesy Pop. So it'd have to be something like sparkling as well. So I think this, something more along the lines of this, and then a pop sparkling one. It could be a rosé. And I would have to do a white as well. But we'd have to do, I mean, we got to do a sparkling one, right? Sparkling rosé, right, Zara? Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. I love that you guys come here, even though some of you don't actually drink the wine. Because it's good to just hang, right? Yeah. We do need a sparkling. I know. I do know. Right. I mean, it doesn't matter. You know, we're all just kind of hanging, learning. The stuff about when she was talking about the wine laws and how on the one from Italy it has that little wrap that says DOC. I'm not gonna try to pronounce it again. I don't want to try to pronounce it again. Don't make me do it. But yeah. Oh, it's okay, Rose. Oh, we are having a gin. What? It's World Cocktail Day? How did I not know about this? Zara? What? That's pretty neat. I did not know. What region is best for sparkling rosé? You know, I think we do it really well here, honestly. But I would go to France for that. That would be the best. Go to France. I think we're actually going to do a rosé. We might do one next week. Okay. I was looking it over. Yeah. Oh, Kaylee, you're drinking a port. See? Nice. Port. That's something I've never done actually on here. We've never done port, so that's kind of your after dinner drink. So that's cool. Tiffany's got the DOC necklace. Okay, cool. So you know that your wine is like legit approved by the Italian government. Now you know. So now when you go shopping for, your wines from Italy, you look for that little DOC, and then yeah. Miniature Missy. Wait, those are sweeter. Which port? Tough to like say which one is. Is that what you're talking about? It's a really strong like dessert wine. Yeah. Yes. 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 So. Yep. What's up, Erica? Yeah. So like, but they're very strong. Like after your dinner, it's like, they serve you port in, it's like a little, give you a little, it's those little glasses that are like, that you kind of hold like this. Do you know what I mean? Mhm. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Night, Luke. Yeah. So they're super strong. Um, bedtime juice. I love that. Oh my gosh. The Port Carte Circle serves. Okay, that's amazing. I've never had it. I've actually never had that one. Now I'm going to look this up. Carte Circle. We got to look this up, right? Okay. How long is the $30 discount available? Good question, Zara. As long as my link works. But I can ask them. Tawny Port 20 years. Okay. Sweet. Yeah, I haven't tried it. I probably haven't tried it because when I go to, let's say, Carte Circle, um, I usually have to, it's called grams. Okay. Yeah, because then I have to like leave. So I can't have port because port's such a like end of the night drink. And it's very rare that I stay over at Disneyland, because I usually have to drive back. But yeah. Okay, that's good to know though. Port. Grams port. I will definitely try it. But I guess I could buy it too, right? Here you go. So, oh yeah, cool. Buckfest? No, what's that, Kira? Yeah, exactly. At home, we were gonna just try some. There, oh yeah, there it is. I found it. That's cool. Thank you. And let me check to see the link, Zara, because I know. So when you use the link that I sent, you will get this little message at the top of your screen. Okay. So enjoy 30 off your first purchase of 100 or more. Discount applied at checkout. So as long as you click the link I sent, you'll get that message. So yeah, it should work for a while, I would think. And that would be this link there. Thank you, Make It Blue Disney Adventure. Thank you, Tiffany. Appreciate it. Aren't they see, Tiffany already got there. She got the wine access already. It's so good, right? Like, I've been doing wine access wines only ever since we started this weekly Wine Wednesday thing, and every single wine we've had's been amazing. Yeah, thanks, Tiffany. Oh, see, it won't let any of you down. Our server brought us the bottle. That's a great thing to do actually in a restaurant when we're allowed to go to restaurants again. Is if you really love something, have your server bring the bottle to you so you can take a picture of it. You can take a picture of the label, and then then you know what to buy for home. Yeah. Oh, okay, Kira. Yeah, I didn't know that. Is there a wine I hate? Like a really sweet one. So no, no Moscato, stuff like that. I'm not really a fan of. Happy birthday, Rose, and happy 1 month sober. That's amazing. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, the best cruise get maxed. That's right, Dee Dee. You know it. Oh, yes, exactly, Zach. Stella Rosa. No. And no sweet. And no popcorn lemonade tequila. Yes, that's it, Tiffany. Order wines you don't typically go for. That is what I've done actually with a bunch of them on here, because like you'll notice, like I don't usually order a lot of the sparkling and the whites that I've gotten from Wine Access, but that's what I have done with them because I know that they're hand selected. Like all the wines on the website are like picked by people like Vanessa. So it's like, okay, they're gonna be good. Right? So yeah. When you have that kind of person that's like making the decisions on it, I'm like, okay, it's gonna be pretty good. So this was the one from Australia, which is the really fruit forward one. And when I say fruit forward, that does not mean it's sweet. This is still really, really dry, but you can actually taste the, like how I was saying, I think I mentioned plum and yeah, blueberries. Yeah. Oh, Crystal, yeah. Yes, you'll catch up. You'll get an education on the first part of this video for sure. Sparkling from Willamette. Okay, yeah. And yeah, Shauna, like this, Australia is killing it with the wine. Any Aussies here tonight or tomorrow as it is there? Oh, Tiffany, you clicked her name and got the champagne she listed. Yeah, see, that's like so cool. You could just go click on Vanessa's name on there and you'll see like what she like recommends. Didi, do I want to make Dole Whip at home? I don't really like their recipe that Disney put out because it's not like the actual one, which I thought was weird. You know? Yeah. You know what I mean? Totally, yeah. They put out a recipe that had actual like ice cream in it. And there's no dairy in Dole Whip, which I thought was weird. Right? Right. Maybe that's how I would do it. Look, a rum Dole Whip. Dole Whip with rum. I could do that. But it's super sweet. Yeah, the mix is on Amazon. It's true. I don't know why they're trying to do that. They're like, We don't want to give them the actual recipe. They're like, nah. Meanwhile, all the recipes are readily available if you just Google things. Which we've all learned, my avocado margarita is pretty exact to the one in Epcot. But Kimberly, you made beignets and it was spot on. Okay, see, that's good. So they are giving you some. It's good. Look at this, I only have a sip left. No. So this is not the one that I will be having for dinner tonight. Because we're having pasta. Apollo Mountains Inn. I've never had that. So yeah, this is the really like fruit forward one. And then we'll go back to the Italian one. But isn't that Corbin thing cool? Got spaghetti, Bolognese. So I made it yesterday, so it's just leftover. So, but I knew it'd be perfect for Wine Wednesday. Yeah, because I knew I was having the Italian one. So, but the great thing too is I don't have to worry that I opened 2 bottles of red wine tonight because I didn't actually open them because I used the Coravin. So I just pressed down. Isn't that thing insane? What a crazy invention. Bring Disney home. That's what I've been doing. Lots of yummy food here. I've never been to northern Italy. I haven't really been there. No, not like the north. Thank you for the recommendation, Sissy Brown. Leal Vineyard Godsend. Cool, Tiffany. Firefly Ridge. Sweet. Finger Lakes. Who else is having, what else is everyone drinking tonight? Angel hair is great. I'm having, the spaghetti is a thin spaghetti, so it's not quite angel hair, not quite spaghetti tonight. Y'all making me really hungry now, so. Oh, a lot of people had actual like pasta today too. Didi had fettuccine. I love this. Hey, lemon water is good for you. Never been there, Rose. Ooh, sangria. Sure, milk some. Water coffee. Right, Booger Barbera. I'm gonna have to check that out. Cab Merlot blend. Love it. See, so many different, there's so many different wineries. It's crazy. Pinot Noir. Ah, nice. Turkey and green beans. I love it. Here's what I want to do before I get going tonight. Any of you have questions for Vanessa for next week? So I know we'll we've already got a little bit of a game plan based on what we talked about tonight. But if there's anything that you guys want to know, let me know. You can either write them in the comments here or always send them to me. Message me with questions. Because obviously we have like a literal master of their craft. So anything you've ever wanted to know, we can ask her. So it's something to think about for, it doesn't have to be right now, but for the next week, we can think about it. And anything you want to know, we can always ask her. So, cool. Cool. We love it. So good. So good. Till we can all have the cheesy, until the day we have the Cheesy Pop Vineyards meat. Right? Till that day. Yeah, in Napa, obviously. If Cheesy Pop Vineyards is gonna exist, it's gotta exist up there. You can message on Instagram. Did not go to the Saratoga winery. No. Now I've been to some wineries on Long Island, like in the Hamptons, and I actually had pretty good stuff there. Robert, we did decanters tonight. Did you not see the beginning? Go back and watch because we did a whole thing on decanters today. We learned all about how to pour a young wine and an old wine into a decanter. Pretty cool. And now we're all smarter. Okay. Yeah. So, hey, Kimberly, I'm glad I can cheer you up. So yeah, go back and watch the beginning, and you can learn all about decanting. Yeah, because we did a whole thing on that today. It's really neat. So go check that out, Robert. Don't put young wine into the decanter. You got to do it. You just go right, really rough into the decanter. Ah, man, I love that. Thanks, Melissa. That's the kind of thing. That is exactly the kind of thing that I want. That we're just sitting down, having a glass of wine, just chilling. That's it. I love it. It's awesome. Yes, Didi, I will be drawing again. Do not worry. I've just been kind of. It may not be on Sundays. I don't know, but I'm definitely gonna do it again. So yeah, we'll do it though. We'll make it happen. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go eat my pasta because I'm hungry, and I have wine to go with it. I'll take this last sip. Cheers to you all. Thank you so much for being here. And we'll be back live again soon. Thanks, guys. Enjoy your wines. Thanks for being here. And again, I'm just going to paste it again. There it is. Go check it out. Wine Access. Like, that's the best deal I've ever seen. Oh, yeah. Amazing. Okay. Thanks, guys. You're the best. Enjoy your evenings. And those of you that are watching Survivor, enjoy that too. Good night, guys. Cheers. Boom. You're now in the glass. We are now all in the glass. So the bird wants to be in the glass too. Bye, guys.